Hi guys, so I'm making another video in this series about pike and walleye fishing while I'm at it because I've got my tackle boxes in front of me. What I wanted to talk about was pike and spinner baits. These are going to be a little bit on the large size of the spectrum of these baits. They're not going to be the small ones, but it's going to be pretty transferable with small ones. If you only have equipment that can throw standard size half-ounce spinner baits and stuff like that, then by all means, please use that. But your typical one is going to be your regular spinner. I throw small ones of these a lot to catch numbers of pike or to locate active fish. I throw these obviously through grass and all that kind of stuff. They come through really well. These bucktail ones are cool. You don't need a trailer on them, and they tend to fish well slow. So if you've got one that's all messed up and the skirt's no good and you want to tie a bucktail, give it a shot. It works really well. Otherwise, try something like a fluke and impart some action in it, like pop and reel and give it some zips, straight reel nice and slow, and then give it some pops and pauses and, slackline it and let it kind of settle until it finds its tension again and you start reeling back up. So play with it a little bit. There's a couple things that I find are pretty consistent for pike spinners that I look for, and one of those tends to be that for some reason I have more success on a Colorado blade. It's got more thump, it's got less speed, and I find that a painted or Colorado blade gets me a lot of pike on spinner baits. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way. It's just an observation that I've had. The other ones, I'll show you some different ones in a second, but that's about what I look for. I really like the cheap Northland spinnerbait. It's a light wire, you'll get it all messed up if you catch a real big pike. It's not going to last a ton of fish, but it's got a light wire and it's just got one of the Colorado blades on it. And, for colors, I don't really go crazy. Like white, chartreuse white, black is about what I stick to when it comes to spinner baits. This one's pretty nifty. This was given to me by a friend, and I like it a lot, and I don't throw it a lot because I really don't want to lose it, but it's a pretty effective bait. It's got some scuffs and teeth and, some hairs cut off of it, but I tend to save this one for a rainy day. Now, you're going to throw these, especially if there's a little bit of surface chop, and I'll do metallic colors on the blades when it's sunny. I'll do dark colors when it's not. Yeah, that's about it. They'll eat them pretty much all the time, but a little bit of wind is really going to make a heck of a difference. A little bit of chop, and for some reason, it must add to the noise and stuff and just make this something that they want to eat. That they can single out and they're not scared of on that day. Don't be scared to fish them through grass. If they're covered in junk, they're obviously not going to work, but don't be scared to fish them through grass. Throw them in heavy cover, reel them back hard, and buzz them right at the surface first. If you're getting aggressive strikes that way, then cover a lot of water. That's the advantage to this, is it really covers water, and you do really well with them, and you can move and you can find fish and you can go from fish to fish. So on days that it works, don't mess with what's broken. Spinner baits seal the deal. They might also work in certain parts of the day and not in others, so play with that a little bit too. Now the other one is my favorite type of spinner bait, and from number 3 Meps all the way up to Craigsy Custom Musky ones, inline spinners catch a lot of fish. They work for just about everybody. I am a huge fan of these Georgian Bay spinners, but I will say that I tend not to favor a double blade for pike. So this is a musky one. I have caught some pike on it, and I've caught some good pike on it, but I tend to favor single blade for pike. Another couple of shout outs from Mad Shas Lures. That guy makes a wicked spinner. If you're looking for somebody in the Ottawa area, he'll hook you up. Georgian Bay Bucktails is obviously on Georgian Bay. He's at the other end. He'll ship you know, whatever you want, where you want it. But another good dude that makes a great product. These guys, they just put the details, you know, and the attention to detail into them. They make sure that they're weighted right, you know, they'll weight them the way that you want. They'll use quality beads and stuff like that. This is an old spinner. I haven't lost many hairs. Whatever's cut's cut, but the rest is all crinkled up and messed up, and it's my fault. And they've lasted a really long time, and a ton of casts. There's also something to be said about balancing them well. Somebody that balances them well, they come through grass good, the blades push it out of the way, and the treble slides through, and it's got, you know, enough skirt material and whatever to not get hung up on everything, but you still get great hookups on fish. So that is pretty important. And the other one is the main wire. If you get cheap little ones, they get busted up and you lose fish, and it's kind of frustrating to wreck, you know, $30 spinners that that just don't last. So look for quality, and look for single blade. The one guy that I met recently at a tackle show was the fellow who makes Real Aggression. I've already posted a picture of these, but these are, I am very, very excited about these. They are finely tuned. Everything I see about them is made to the specifications that, like, I would ask for. And he makes them, these are big. I think this is a number 12. So it's got some chartreuse and white. There you go, you can see it better in that light. Do I look like less friggin'... it's still pretty dark. This is weird lighting filming. So this Real Aggression, here, let's try this. This is bugging me. I'm gonna get blinded now. Wow, that is bright. Jesus. Okay, so this Real Aggression spinner. It's an inline, it's nice and stout, it's got a good stiff, really good quality beads. He steps them up in size, and I like that a lot. This thing slides like it's got nothing on it. The crimps are nice and tight, and really heavy gauge wire. And then really full marabou skirt, nice and puffy. There's a weight in there that kind of holds it out. Even when it's going to get wet, it's still going to kind of, you know, hold some shape. And then the other thing that I find is really important, that I've got a friend who swears by too, and he knows a thing or two about fishing, is these feathers on the back make a heck of a difference. Having a couple of feathers that stick out the back seems to, like, tickle their nose, or the slight movement gets them, and man, they will just chomp on it. And he doesn't skimp out on hooks. This is a wicked heavy duty, like, sticky sharp hook, and he's got, you know, shrink tube like it should have, so that it stays nice and straight on the back of the bait. So if you're looking for an inline spinner for pike, get a single blade. Make sure that it's a hybrid or a Colorado. I tend to prefer those. If you're going to a double blade, go smaller than big. I found that works, like not going bigger than a 6 or an 8 on a double, and going up to like a 12 on a single has, for some reason, it's just yielded good results. Make sure that they're well made. Make sure they've got a good thick skirt material and good stout hooks. Make sure they don't cheap out on, you know, your split rings and stuff, and you'll catch a lot of pike. I really, really like these inline spinners for pike. These cover water pretty quickly, and there's a lot of days where I feel like people are throwing spoons, they're throwing jerkbaits, they're throwing paddle tails and swim baits. They're not necessarily throwing big inlines like this, and they tend to catch a different size class of fish. So let me know what you guys think, and if you've got any questions, send them my way. You know, here's another one, a little bit of a brighter color on the tail, try and entice bites. Both of them are white. It's a pretty universal color, and then a nice gold blade, because I do really well white, chartreuse, gold, silver, black for pike tends to be kind of the go-tos. You'll get yellow and stuff will work well, so will, you know, some pinks and whatever, but if I only had to own one color, it would probably be white or gold. And yeah, so there you go. Go get yourself some spinners, go catch some big pike. If you've got any questions, send me the questions, and thanks for watching, guys.